You're watching NappyCast by Jason Nappy Weather. I'm tracking the weather in New England for the next 10 days. We're going to have on and off showers, even a few thunderstorms today. They'll be non-severe. Those will push through. Then we're going to clear out Thursday into Friday. More showers get here on Saturday. We clear out for Easter Sunday. And then it's mostly dry next week with some showers coming in late in the week. So we'll get into all of that in the forecast now and show you what's going on across all of New England, from Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, down to Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. So here's a look at the modeling showing that shower and precip activity coming through the next several hours and days. Most of this, I could say, is not going to be snow. Finally starting to turn the corner a little bit towards spring here. However, temperatures are not going to be warm everywhere. We'll get into all that in the forecast. So let's look at temperatures here. You're still going to have some chilly nights coming our way with 30s and 40s, but there is hope, especially away from the coastline. Now, this time of the year, the ocean is very chilly. You need a strong land breeze to keep the temperature, to keep the ocean temperature really off the coast. So we'll have a few opportunities for that. But right now, I still want to downplay how warm it's going to be, except a couple of days. There will be some opportunities here for us to warm up here. So you'll see here temperature anomaly. So the temperature above or below what it's typically for this time of the year. You see a bunch of oranges popping up. So that is going to be things like, yes, the temperature starting to warm up and go on the warmer side of things here. Now, this is not full-on spring, but it is more promising than it's been lately. So Saturday, especially right before Easter, is going to be a warm day. So here's a look at precip. So the heaviest precip is going to stay to our south and west here. Most of the heavy precip is up in the central highlands in Maine, lighter down in southern Maine. You see here Massachusetts got more than an inch. The real heavy stuff down towards western Pennsylvania, New York City, and West Virginia. So for the most part, we escape the real heavy precipitation. Now, as far as cloud cover goes, got a lot of clouds around to start things off, but there will be improvement. So for especially Thursday, Friday, then the clouds roll in again. Now look at all this dark blue. That's a clear sky coming through for Sunday, Easter Sunday into next week. And then more clouds are going to roll in after that here. Once again, this next 10 days the forecast here. So we're not full-on sun, not summer sun yet, obviously. We're still here at the end of April, but there's still going to be a lot of clouds around in the forecast. Now, as far as the wind, notice here, wind's going to kick up with the pressure gradient, especially when this cold front gets through here today and tomorrow. So wind picks up. However, I don't expect us to see incredibly high wind gusts, no real big storms popping up here, so the wind will be very tolerable. Now, for satellite, today, in the last couple of hours here, we set things. A lot of sun popping up in Vermont right now, and a lot of sun in New Hampshire and western Maine. Clouds locked in, for the most part, mid-coast of Maine, heading down east central highlands. In Massachusetts, seeing the sun break out in western Mass. Even in Boston, some high clouds. Connecticut, some sun closer to Hartford, but not looking for this to be a perfectly sunny day for all of New England. We'll look here at the temperatures where you see wind out of the south, so an onshore flow, mid-coast of Maine, 40s. But where you've got that land breeze, 50s, for western Mass, a lot of sunshine. Look at 60s popping up in Vermont. So quite nice there if you like it on the mild side right now. Now, for satellite picture here, you can see where the sun is popping out. That's where the temperatures are warming up. So in New York, but mostly towards Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts getting into the sunshine. We'll get a break before the showers, thunderstorms, and the cold front is going to arrive. So let's bounce around the state. I want to show you temperatures. Here we'll start off in Maine, where you can see temperatures here in Bangor. 58 on your Tuesday, Wednesday 48. Then we're at 63 Saturday and 68 on Tuesday of next week. and then 67. So that's about as warm as it gets. We'll flirt with 70. For Portland, Maine, 71 Saturday, a run for 70 next week. There is a trend, though, for the end of April to cool things down. Look at Manchester, New Hampshire, mid-70s on Saturday, mid-70s on Tuesday, and then things begin to cool down a little back to our cold front for the end of April as we get towards the last few days. But look at Portsmouth. I mean, 75 Saturday at the coast, 78 Tuesday. That is a strong land breeze. Wind has to be out of the west for that to happen, west and southwest. And then we cool down for the end of April. How about Burlington, Vermont, 71 next Tuesday. And then we cool down after that. Once again, that backdoor cold front comes through. And Rutland in Vermont, 67 Saturday with the shower activity, 67 Tuesday, and then the 40s pop up. Getting into that backdoor cold front for late on your end of April. For Boston, you have to get, for 60s this time of the year, you got to get a land breeze, got to get at least a southwesterly breeze, and we're going to have that for Saturday into Tuesday, but then we cool down. Look at that, 46 degrees for the end of April. So very up and down here in Western Mass. 75 Saturday, 75 next Tuesday, and then we're going to cool down just a little bit. 67, 59, and 50 here. Big time roller coaster ride. In Providence, Rhode Island, 63 with rain Saturday, and then 70. Nice land breeze Tuesday, and then 66 degrees after that. We cool down to the end of the month. For Worcester, Mass, 72, 50, 60, 73. Look at this roller coaster ride for the weekend into next week. Easter Sunday will be chilly. You see lows in the 30s there again, and then we cool down end of the month. Newport, Rhode Island, 40s and 50s. Onshore flow, I mean, it's tough to get close to 60. We'll do that next Friday, next Tuesday, but for the most part, obviously, you are right along the coast there, so it's difficult this time of the year. How about Hartford, 72 to 53 this weekend, up to 76 and down to the 60s, and then down to the 50s after that. We got some cold air coming in from that backdoor cold front. In New Haven, a run for 70 on Saturday, 73 on Tuesday, a little spring fever, and then we cool down. Once again, that backdoor cold front coming in. So here's a look at things on the modeling going forward here. You can see that storm pushing in for the cold front today, bringing that shower and thunderstorm activity, some snow showers up in the western mountains of Maine. Not really much for accumulation except Coos County in New Hampshire. And the snow showers are going to be lake effect, so for New York, not for New England, really. I don't expect much in the way of lake effect, but it is maybe the Champaign Valley, you'll have a little bit there. So let's take a look now at the radar the last few hours. You got that spin going on eastern Canada, and that's the storm. That's the engine for the storm pushing east. It's going to drag a cold front through New England today, tonight, and you're going to see a lot more in the way of rainfall and the snowfall breaking out, once again, mostly at elevation. Here's a look at temperatures here. I want to show you this. So for today, high temperatures generally in the 60s, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. It'll be in southern Maine at best. And then tomorrow, big cool down behind the cold front. And then into your Thursday, we stay chilly, barely get to 52 in southern Maine, close to 60 in Connecticut. And then here comes the warm-up. This is Friday. Look at the temperature spiking, 60s in southern New England. And then here's your warm day. Look at Saturday. Southern New England well into the 70s. Northern New England flirting with 70, and southern New Hampshire. Maine is still on the chilly side. And then we cool down on Sunday behind the cold front. 60s southern New England, 40s in northern New England. Then we warm right back up for Monday, right after Easter, with 50s and 60s back. So spring is trying to make its way here. It's trying to get back into the picture. It's tough to do this time of the year. We've got backdoor cold fronts, and we sometimes have onshore flow. You can go to nappycast.com for the latest forecast for New England.